Custom landscape, all done. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today we are over here again at our new custom river, which I still think looks beautiful. I'm loving this thing, and yeah, that might have to change. But as you saw from the time lapse at the beginning, I have been very busy, and I've been placing a lot of dirt, and a bit more dirt, and then some more dirt again, and then a little bit more dirt, and then some even more dirt, and a little bit of grass as well. I'm sure you understand how much work this was, and I was going to do this in the last episode, and I've missed a bit. No! Anyway, I was going to do this in the last episode, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I just stuck to the river, because it made sense to do this separately. So this isn't going to be staying as just a big grass field. This is all, or most of it, is going to be covered in wheat. At some point, it's going to be a big field with walls around it and bushes in between and paths, and it's going to look amazing. So that is on my list of things to hopefully at least get started today. But I have a couple of things I wanted to get done, which I said I was going to do last time, and I didn't get around to it. So I'm going to focus on that today and hopefully make some progress. So, first thing I want to do is get rid of this. Look at this bridge. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, no it's not. I want to move it over here and make it look like an actual bridge and not just a cobblestone thing. So let me get this removed and we'll get started on that. And there is the brand new bridge. Look at that, beautiful. It's still, yeah, I know what you're thinking, it's still cobblestone, but it now has a stone trim. Yeah, I know, you didn't see that coming, did you? This isn't the bridge, don't worry. This is just the first layer. What I want to do is have this covered in dirt, coarse dirt, path blocks, grass, all that lovely stuff. Make it look real dirty, well used by horses and carts and all that kind of thing. So from the side, as you can see, I've added these full blocks here and slabs along the edge. What I'm trying to do is have a rounded look here. So there's going to be a layer of dirt on top and then stair blocks upside down alongside, and then these will come round and look like supports, and then underneath, the kind of thing I'm going for, there's going to be an arch. Standard bridge construction, just have an arch going underneath, supported at each end, and supporting the bridge. So let's get on with it and get the rest of this bridge built. Okay, so that looks way better than what we had before. This is all the top part is done now, and we're not done yet, but let's just have a look at what we've got. So I came up with this little design with the stairs and the slabs on top, so all of this is spawn proof. Obviously this isn't, but I'm sure I can come up with something like that with some hidden lighting in the floor or something like that. So that was the easy bit. The most interesting and challenging part of building the bridge is what happens underneath. So it does look alright going straight across, but what I want to do is have the traditional arch. So the midpoint, I believe, is here. So it's going to come down from there. You can't really see with that hill there. Let's move over here. So yeah, it's going to come down there against that cliff face there and then down this side. Now over here, get off. Over here, it is a bit raised off the ground. So I am going to have to do something with the landscape. Maybe a little cliff, maybe building up the grass. I haven't quite decided yet. Let's get the bridge done first, and we'll get that done. So what I like to do is go from the midpoint, which is here, and build out from there. And then I get the slope that I want, and then just mirror it on the other side. So let's get that done. So there it is. That is the completed bridge, minus a few tweaks I want to make. Well, let's talk about those now. So I've brought the road down this end, and it's a little bit rough. It's pretty basic, but I don't actually know where the road is going to be going at this side of the river yet. So I've just left it like this for now, and at least I don't have to jump up anything. I can just walk up here. Done a little bit of texture variation along here. I want to get a bit of cobble and gravel, maybe some brown concrete in here as well, but I think this is looking pretty good for now. And then I've done some of the texture variation below as well. I've got some of the mossy cobble and the mossy stone just down at the bottom, and it's not necessarily following the pattern of the bridge. It's more to look like it's like fallen off and been left there and it's been repaired. That's the kind of look I'm going for down here. So, and obviously got the leaves in as well. Need to have the leaves. I think that's looking pretty good. So I think I've learned two things from doing this. One, I can't record a time lapse without one of these guys turning up. I don't know why, but every time I start recording a time lapse, they just appear. And these things. I hate these things. The amount of times I stepped in and heard this noise. Ah! Anyway, I think what I need to do now is leave this project for today and get on with something else. Right, so we're back over here at the village, and this is the project I want to tackle for today. I mentioned this at the start of the last episode, but, you know, the river took over, so I didn't get around to doing it. But what this is the road that comes out of the village and will eventually, or should already, join up with the main road that goes through the world of that bridge. Now, it's just cobble at the moment, so I need to get some texture variation in. What are you doing? Rude. Go away. Thank you. Bye-bye. What was I saying? Right, so this road is looking a bit ropey. All I want to do is expand this across a little bit, and then also expand the top of this hill across, so it'll all be covered there. And then I want a wall along this way, and it's going to be a natural wall. It's not going to be like a brick built wall. It'll just be like a stone cliff face kind of thing. But I'll say a cliff. It's not going to be very high. It's just going to be this high. So I think what I want to do is just get all this expanded, get the grass brought across, and get this cliff put in. So let's get on with that right now. Okay, so I've got that done. That is looking much tidy now, but unfortunately, I'm not completely happy with it because we've got this step here, and I've always had this here, and I always had the idea that we just come out and go straight up this way. But the problem is, I've got the idea that there's going to be like horses and carts coming out of here, and I think this is just too sharp a turn, and it is way too narrow as well. So I think what I want to do is push this back a bit, so we've got a more gradual slope going this way, and then while I'm at it, I think this needs to be more gradual as well, because these are fine for walking, but they don't look like they could take much of a beating with like horses and carts and stuff, and it's a bit steep on both sides. So I think I just need to make a few adjustments here. Right, so we've got a few changes made, done a lot of work there. So let's have a walk out this gate and see the difference. Look at that. That is much better. That's much more believable now as like a delivery entrance for this village, much wider and a more gradual slope going up that way. And this way, I decided not to go straight out. I've done some steps coming down to the side, so we don't block all of this off. And I think that works a lot better as well. So we can come out a lot further at the front of this, and it feels a lot better there. So after I did that part, I also went through the rest of this path, got all the path blocks in, and extended all the texture variation with the coarse dirt and a lot of the oak slabs as well. And this is looking very, very nice. So this goes all the way through the new custom farmland and right up to the bridge that's over there. And I also added some of the texture variation into the bridge as well. So we've got the bit of the cobble and the gravel up there. So I'm very happy with how this road is looking. And I think this is the style I'm going to go for as the basic version that goes through the entire world. So I know I've mentioned it a few times already, but just as a refresher, what I'm planning on doing is having this road go all the way to where the end portal is, and there's a village just next to that. So it's about 2,000 blocks, I believe, all the way. I don't know why I'm zooming because I won't be able to see it, but it's going to go a long way that way anyway. And when we get to like the villages and the cities and stuff, there'll probably be a lot more like stone and cobble like mixed in. But for the basic version, it's just going to be this kind of thing: path blocks, few oak slabs, and some grass and the coarse dirt. I think that works really well for like the countryside road. My next plan is to do some custom farmland, which I really love doing, but I'll be honest, I've been avoiding it a little bit because it's a big job. And I've done this before, and it took a long time, but this area is way bigger than what I've done before. So I don't think I'm going to get it all done in this episode, but I can definitely make a start. But before we get to that, I just wanted to have a quick check on how my farms are doing. So I'm just over here at the iron farm, and yeah, that's still chucking out the iron, and I have been crafting this up into blocks as well, so there's definitely a lot more. And because I'm not messing about on this farm, this is serious business, I need an unbreaking 3 diamond hoe, so I'm just picking that up right now. Next up is the witch farm drops, and I daren't even look in these chests. Where are we? Can I reach? That's the second one up. Third. Oh god, so it's gone to the fourth on both sides, and a little bit up here as well. Now that might look like quite a lot, but I've also been manually sorting this as well into these. So I've got, what's this, 4.5 chests of gunpowder, and then a similar amount of everything else as well. The redstone I've been crafting into blocks, and the bottles I've been taking over to the honey farm. And sticks, crazy amount, I've got about 10 chests full of sticks. So, and this is just from one witch farm. This is madness. I've got a quad witch hut, so I have to build all 4. It's like the law, you can't have a quad witch hut seed and not build them all. So I'm definitely going to need to beef up my storage before I get that done. He's not going to have a good time in a minute. Bye bye. And lastly, we have the slime farm. So these are the ones I've already crafted. Nearly 3 double chests of slime blocks. And then these are all filling up again, just going crazy. The point I'm trying to make here is I've got a lot of stuff, and there's something missing from my game, and that is shulker boxes. I haven't been to the end yet, and I think I need to sort that out sooner rather than later. I was planning on getting the village completely finished before I went to the end, but we're at breaking point now. I'm going to need to do that really, really soon, so I may do that next time. But for now, let's get back over to the other side of the village, and we'll start making some farmland. So I've got to mention, I did make a few more twigs along this area as well. So this river was really tight originally. This is the one just outside the village that leads up to where the docks will be. So I've just widened this a little bit, got rid of the sand, and I do have a little bit more to do, but I don't want to get too carried away with doing rivers. So we did a lot of that last time. So yeah, like stuff like this will be sorted out eventually. Get rid of quite a few of these trees and maybe shave this back a little bit. So over here, I haven't finished this bit yet. This is where the new custom land goes over the original river. So I do need to get this filled in at some point and maybe slope down into what we've got going on over here. I also didn't show this as well. So this other road here has moved from where I originally said. I think it was going to be down there somewhere where that is. But what I decided to do was put it in here because there's a natural raised, well, it's not natural because I built it, but there's a a part that seems to make sense to have a road on. So I'm going to have this going up to the Badlands for the other village that I'm going to have over there. So I think the first bit of farmland I want to do is going to be in this bit, because it's quite flat, and a lot of the terrain over there still needs a little bit of work, as I've just shown you. So I think what I'm going to do is just start over here and follow these naturally raised parts here. So I think what I want to do is go about 3 blocks away from where the road's going to be and try and keep that distance as well. So I'm going to try and stick to basic contours of the road and the contours of the land as well. So I'm just going to follow this part around, curve back around, and then go all the way around there. I think you know the deal by now. I'm going to jump into a time lapse and get this built up. And you never know, I might do another one as well. Okay, I think I got a little bit carried away there, but it's okay because it looks cool. So I built up 3 of these fields, and I've even got one of them planted. And then with the wall, it's about 2 or 3 high, and then I've been around all of the tops and put either slabs, stairs, or walls on every single section all the way around. And then in here, because this is the smallest one, and I just wanted to have something to show you on camera, I've planted all of the wheat in here and wait for it all to grow, and I think this does look pretty cool. I am going to expand this one a little bit because I'm not that keen on how tight this is in here, and these 2 are absolutely huge, so it doesn't really fit, but we'll get that done. I'm still very happy with the progress here. I think this has been a very successful episode. I didn't get distracted by making rivers, and I've got this very fancy bridge built over it now. I've got 3 wheat fields ready to go, 2 of them ready to be planted. Then we also worked on this path all the way through this area as well, and this is looking pretty fancy. I think I'm going to put some more bone meal down the sides once I figure out what's going in here as well. There'll probably be some smaller fields with like the carrots and potatoes and that kind of thing. And then this section up here we also sorted out as well. Yeah, so this was really tight before, but it's much more open now, and it's much more suitable for what I want to do with the area. But unfortunately, that is all the time I do have for today. So if you have enjoyed the episode, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.